Holy fuck.
Holy
fuck me.
You wanna watch her again?
No.
Have you ever walked along a quiet riverbank and wondered, what secrets lie beneath those ripples? Not deep underground, not locked behind hard rock, but right there, in plain sight. Today, I'm taking you to a place where gold doesn't hide far from the light, a place where a keen eye is more powerful than any pickaxe. Forget the heavy gear. Forget the hours of digging until your back aches. This is about reading the land, reading the water, and letting nature hand you the prize. No shovels required. The air is cool this morning, the kind of crisp that makes every breath taste like adventure. I step onto the pebble-strewn bank, listening to the gentle hiss of water curling around stones. Birds call from somewhere in the trees, their voices scattering across the glassy surface of the creek. You might think this hunt begins with luck, but gold, real gold, is predictable if you know where to look. I scan the current. The first rule, gold is heavy. Even tiny flakes will settle where the water slows. See that bend in the creek up ahead? That's where the flow eases just enough for gold to rest. But I'm not rushing in. There's something about slowing down your eyes until the world stops blurring. Most people walk past 100 signs a day and never notice the sparkle at their feet. My boots crunch over damp gravel, and I pause at a shallow pool, barely knee-deep. The sunlight spills through a gap in the trees, striking the water at an angle. This is where the magic happens. Light turns the ordinary into the extraordinary. I crouch low, letting my gaze skim just beneath the surface. Small stones, dark sand, and then there. Not the blinding flash you'd imagine. Real gold glints with a warmth that light seems to hold, not reflect. It doesn't wink and disappear like mica. It stays steady, stubbornly rich in color, as if it's glowing from within. I slide my hand into the cold water and nudge aside a cluster of tiny pebbles. The weight of it surprises me. Even small pieces feel denser than they look. Between my fingertips, a smooth, flattened flake rests, no larger than a fingernail but unmistakably gold. And that's the secret. It's not about finding the biggest nugget right away. It's about knowing you're in the right place, about letting that first find sharpen your senses for the next. I pocket the flake and keep moving. The stream twists and bends through the trees, its edges framed by roots that snake into the water like the fingers of something ancient. Another rule, gold likes to hide where obstacles slow the current. Fallen logs, rock clusters, or even the base of a sharp river bend. I stop beside a tangle of roots and kneel. Beneath the surface, the sand swirls lazily. Tiny air bubbles cling to submerged leaves. And right there, just at the lip where the current softens, I see it again. This time it's bigger. A small rounded piece, sunk into the dark sand, catching the low sun. I don't speak. I just let the sight of it hold me. The way time seems to pause when gold is in view. When I finally reach for it, I move slowly, careful not to stir the water too much. The gold lifts cleanly into my palm, and in that moment I know this hunt is far from over. Because once you see gold in the open like this, you start to realize how much is out there, waiting in places everyone else has overlooked. Up ahead, the creek narrows into a channel between two large boulders. The water churns slightly, frothing at the edges, but I can see calmer patches forming just downstream. I kneel at the first calm pool, and this time, I'm looking for patterns rather than color. Dark streaks in the sand. That's black sand, a mix of magnetite and other heavy minerals that tend to settle with gold. If you find black sand, you're standing in the gold's neighborhood. I let my fingers sift through the sand at the edge. Nothing at first, and then a glimmer. It's not a flake this time. It's a thin, curling fragment, like a piece of gold ribbon, resting right where the current dies into stillness. 3 pieces in under an hour. No digging, no panning. Just patience, sunlight, and the weight of nature's own design. I pocket the fragment and glance downstream. The creek disappears around another bend, its surface glinting in the sunlight like a trail of clues. And here's the thing. This isn't a secret that belongs only to remote, wild places. Gold obeys the same rules whether it's in the mountains, a rural stream, or even a suburban creek hidden behind a line of houses. It's all about knowing how to read the water, where to let your eyes rest, and when to trust that small, steady glow. I'm moving again. The sound of the creek growing softer as the trees close in around me. Somewhere ahead, I know, is a place where the current will slow to nothing, and the gold, heavier than the world around it, will be waiting. The hunt has only just begun. The creek winds tighter now, its voice becoming a whisper between the rocks. The air here is cooler, the sunlight broken into flickering shards through a canopy of leaves. Each step takes me further from the noise of the world and closer to the quiet heartbeat of this place. I can feel it. Gold has a way of telling you you're getting warm. It's not a sound, not a sight, but a kind of intuition built from every flake, every fragment you've ever held. I follow the water until I reach a place where it spills gently into a wide, shallow basin. Here the current dies into a mirror-smooth sheet, and the bottom glows faintly with a patchwork of pebbles and sand. I crouch. The sunlight breaks through in long, golden beams, turning the water into a pane of glass over treasure. At first there's nothing, just rocks, sand, and fallen leaves. But I wait. I let my eyes soften, let the ripples fade, and then it appears. Half buried in the sand is a nugget, not a flake, not a fragment, a nugget, about the size of a grape, its edges worn smooth by years of water. It sits so still, so defiantly bright, that for a moment I don't move at all. When I finally reach down, the cold of the water gives way to the warmth of the metal in my palm. Gold holds its own heat, not from the sun, but from itself, a strange, steady weight that feels alive. I slip it into my pouch, and with it, the knowledge that this find changes everything. Because where there's one nugget, there's almost always more. I fan out my search, working along the edges of the basin, looking for the same subtle signs. The still water, the black sand, the hidden glimmer. It's not long before I find another. Smaller, yes, but unmistakable. Then another, and another. By the time the shadows begin to stretch across the water, I have a small collection. Flakes, fragments, and that single perfect nugget. It's not just about the gold in my pouch. It's about the fact that I've proven something. You don't need heavy machinery. You don't need to tear apart the land. If you understand the language of water, and if you're willing to slow down long enough to listen, the gold will show itself. The forest begins to change as evening approaches. The air smells faintly of moss and cold stone, and the sound of the creek seems softer now, like it's tucking away its secrets for the night. I follow the bank back toward the world, my steps slower, my eyes still scanning even as I walk away. Because now I can't help it. Every glint of light, every shift in the sand feels like another possibility. At the trailhead, I pause and look back. Somewhere out there, beneath inches of clear water, gold lies waiting in the places we pass every day without a thought. I think about the first flake I found this morning, how small it was, how easy it would have been to miss. And yet that tiny glimmer led me here, to the nugget, to the handful of treasures, and to the deeper truth. Treasure isn't always buried deep. Sometimes it's right there, just waiting for the right eyes to notice. And that's the secret I'll leave with you today. You've just seen how gold can reveal itself without a single shovel strike. How patience, light, and a little know-how can lead you straight to the prize. If you've enjoyed this journey, if you're ready to train your eyes to spot what others walk past, then stick with me here on ProGems. Because every stream, every bend in the river, and every forgotten patch of earth has a story to tell. And I'm here to help you hear it. Subscribe now so you'll never miss the next hidden treasure waiting in plain sight. Until next time, keep your eyes sharp, your steps steady, and remember, nature always leaves a clue. This is ProGems, and the hunt continues.